can't live without Spunk. That sentence was not a prank, and it was not a parody. In March 2004, it was sitting on Coca-Cola's own website in Britain, advertising a brand new bottle of water. In America, spunk means courage, spirit, get up and go. In British slang, it means semen. And that was not even the worst thing that happened to this launch. Because the water inside came out of a tap in a London suburb, Coca-Cola charged 95 pence for it, and 38 days after it hit the shelves, the entire product got yanked out of the country. Coca-Cola is fine. Coca-Cola has always been fine. This is just the most embarrassing launch in its history. So rewind. By 2004, bottled water is one of the best businesses going. Britain is drinking more of it every year. The market is worth over £1 billion, and it is climbing fast. Coca-Cola looks at that and does the arithmetic every drinks executive was doing. People are handing over real money for a liquid that falls out of the sky for free. Why are we not in this? And Coke already has its weapon loaded. Dasani. Launched in America in 1999, already the number 2 bottled water in the United States. Built on one very specific idea. Not spring water, not mountain water, purified water. So Coca-Cola goes big. It hands the UK launch to a London ad agency, on an account widely reported at £7 million. £7 million to introduce Britain to water. On the 10th of February 2004, Dasani lands in British supermarkets at 95 pence for a half-liter bottle. And the whole pitch is purity. One Coca-Cola executive described it at the time as, quote, as pure as bottled water gets. Hold on to that word, pure. It is about to become the single most expensive word of the entire campaign. Because there was one detail Coca-Cola had not exactly printed on the front. Where the water came from. It came out of a tap. Specifically, the main supply feeding Coca-Cola's bottling plant in Sidcup, a quiet suburb in southeast London. Piped in by Thames Water, the same way it is piped into every kitchen sink for miles around. Coke pushed it through reverse osmosis, stripped it back to almost nothing, then added minerals in again to hit Dasani's signature taste. And to be fair to Coca-Cola, they never once called it spring water. They simply never volunteered the other half of the sentence. And a British trade magazine had already noticed. The Grocer, the UK grocery trade paper, had reported the sourcing plan back in August 2003, months before launch. Nobody outside the industry blinked. Then the national press got hold of it in early 2004, and Britain lost its mind. The real sting! Coke sells tap water. Because in a 1992 episode of Only Fools and Horses, a market trader bottles tap water, calls it Peckham Spring, and flogs it as premium mineral water. Britain had written this exact joke 12 years earlier, as a scam so obvious it was a punchline. And now the most famous brand on the shelf had walked straight into it. On purpose. With a £7 million budget. And now that word had teeth. Under British labeling guidance, pure is meant for a single ingredient food or to flag the quality of an ingredient. Dasani had material taken out by filtration, then calcium, magnesium, and sodium bicarbonate deliberately put back in. So it was purified, then carefully unpurified, then sold as pure. Complaints landed, and Britain's advertising and food regulators began scrutinizing the claim. Coca-Cola was now defending a dictionary definition in public about tap water. And somewhere in these weeks, the marketing team might have hoped that was the worst thing on the desk. It was not. Because somewhere on Dasani's own British website sat a little flash animation, and in it was the tagline you heard at the top of this video. The one word that means courage in Atlanta, and something entirely different in a London pub. A UK news site called The Register spotted it in March 2004 and cheerfully told everybody. Nobody at Coca-Cola, apparently, had run the copy past a single actual British person. One honest note: the internet has since inflated this into slogans Coca-Cola never printed. The line that is genuinely sourced from Coke's own site in 2004 is the one we opened with, which was more than enough. And then, on the 18th of March, the story stopped being funny. Remember those minerals Coca-Cola added back in for taste? One of them was a batch of calcium chloride, and that batch carried traces of bromide. The plant then treated the water with ozone, which is standard practice, and the ozone oxidized the bromide into bromate. Bromate is classed as a possible human carcinogen. The UK legal limit in bottled water is 10 micrograms per liter. The batches tested came in between 10 and 22, up to roughly double the limit. And here is the astonishing part. The tap water going in was fine. Thames Water Supply was reported to pass more than 99.9% of its quality checks. Coca-Cola took perfectly clean drinking water, purified it, improved it, and in improving it, contaminated it. The next day, the 19th of March, Coca-Cola did the only thing left to do. It recalled roughly 500,000 bottles. Not the affected batch, all of it. The entire Dasani range pulled off every shelf in the country in under 24 hours. The Food Standards Agency said the levels posed no immediate risk to health, but flagged a possible increased cancer risk from long-term exposure, and called Coca-Cola's withdrawal, quote, sensible. 38 days on sale. A Coca-Cola spokesman said the company had not yet confirmed when and how it would be back in the market. That turned out to be the most accurate sentence of the entire campaign. It never came back. Coca-Cola had 2 more European launches loaded and ready. France, planned for the middle of April, Germany, planned for the spring. Both were scrapped within days, using one of the great pieces of corporate phrasing ever written. The timing was, quote, no longer considered optimal. 2 canceled launches, 1 dead brand, and a country handed a brand new punchline for free. Dasani has never returned to the United Kingdom. It has never gone on sale in continental Europe at all. 22 years later, that is still true. So here is the twist nobody expects. Dasani is fine. In America, it never stopped selling. It is still one of the 2 biggest bottled water brands in the country, just behind Pepsi's Aquafina. Same philosophy, same purified municipal supply, same brand, same bottle. Americans buy it by the truckload, because in America, Coca-Cola told that story itself from day one. In Britain, the story arrived from a trade magazine, then a newspaper. And once your audience finds out for you, the argument is already over. So let me ask you something. If a company purifies tap water and tells you up front, is that a ripoff? Or is that just a product? Put it in the comments, because Britain and America answer this completely differently. Coca-Cola did not die here. It barely flinched. This was never the fall of a giant. It was the most embarrassing launch in the company's history, and Britain has never let it go. £7 million. A word nobody thought to check. And a mineral additive that turned perfectly good water into a national recall. They did not just shoot themselves in the foot. They filtered the bullet, added minerals to it, and shot themselves in the foot with the premium version. So, which company should we open up next? Drop the name below, subscribe, and we will keep opening the tapes the giants would rather keep shut. This was the Industry Tapes.